Okay, hello, good afternoon. I am Caitlin, and today I'm going to be talking about authors, writers, and editors. So, what do these words mean in general? An author is a person who is the creator or originator of any written work, such as a book or a play. A writer is a person who uses written words in different styles and techniques to communicate ideas, such as blog posts, not necessarily books. Not generally books. And an editor is a person who does the process of selecting and preparing writing, photography, visual, audible, and film media to convey information. So an author, who is considered an author? Anyone that creates any types of books or plays. So Shakespeare would be considered an author since he wrote a plethora of different plays. Their salaries are typically from $10,000 to $2,500. I think I said that right. And what do they do in general? They write fiction and nonfiction, and they create books for other people to read in their spare time and fun or for educational purposes. So our textbooks are written by authors. And then some authors would be Harper Lee, Edgar Allan Poe, Jane Austen, Stephen King, and J.K. Rowling. And then writers. Who is considered a writer? So all of us are technically considered writers. When we post on Instagram and we put that little caption, we're being a writer then, or a blog post, Facebook post, anything like that. And they don't typically make money, but when they do, they can make almost about 10 grand for doing that. Typically that is like high writers that get paid for blog posts and like magazines and such. They don't typically make that much. So what makes them so different from an author? They don't necessarily write full-blown articles and books for the public eye. They write small things, small posts, like little articles inside of magazines and stuff like that, or blog posts, maybe 2 paragraphs at most. Sometimes it can be as little as like a sentence. Some writers would be H.P. Lovecraft, Franz Kafka, Emily Dickinson, Winifred Watson, and you, like I said. And then an editor. Who is considered an editor? So editors would be people who pick through information of an author or a writer, and they're like, hey, this is good, this isn't good, I want to take this out, maybe we should add this, and they piece it all together in a way that is going to be good for an audience to read, and it's a flown, well put together piece of text. They make sure that it is that. They can make up to $100,000 for doing what they do. They are incredibly important for writers and authors, especially authors, when they go through their text and they're like, this is what needs to be done, this is great, awesome. That's basically what they do. So they're important due to the fact that like an author and a writer cannot publish something that hasn't been edited because it's going to be sometimes it can be a jumbled mess. I know J.K. Rowling is an editor herself, but she goes through and has an editor do it with her, so all of her thoughts are coherent and in one flowed piece of text for what she's writing. So it's her own personal thoughts don't get in the way of what she's trying to say. Some editors would be Ben Bradley, Jared Taylor, Wally Wood, William Allen White, Mabel Loomis Todd, and Clay Felker. So those are authors, writers, and editors, what they do, how much they make, and why they're important. Thank you.